WJG Sports. We journal great.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Just Like Bruddas podcast, episode 63, 62. Which one are we on, Micah?
63.
63, okay. All right, episode 63. All right, of course, Micah BB there in Greenville, Kai Jones here in Goldsboro. And we have a very special guest here, Asia Todd, one of Clayton's greatest basketball players of all time. She's joining us here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Asia, you were actually, the first female guest that we could get on the show, so we're excited to have you. There's a lot to get into. Let's talk a little bit first about, how did you start playing basketball?
Yeah, so at first I was actually a cheerleader. I started in a church league called Upward in Garner, not too far from Clayton. So I started being a cheerleader and cheerleading for my older sister. And then one day I talked to my dad. I was like, I don't want to be a cheerleader anymore. I actually want to be a basketball player. So then I started playing in the church league at Upward. And one of the rules was like you couldn't steal the ball. But when I first started, I had a natural aggression to me. So like I always wanted to steal the ball and just lay it up. But I couldn't really do that. But definitely my older sister inspired me when I was on the sidelines cheering for her.
How did that work where you couldn't steal? Could they make a bad pass and you could pick it up? Or was it just like completely no steals at all?
It was a long time ago. I'm going to just go with no steals at all.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So, of course, you went to Clayton High School. You made your name on being a big-time scorer. What was kind of the moment when you kind of, felt, kind of like you were really good at basketball?
Yeah, probably I would say probably in middle school when I first started thinking like, okay, I can actually be pretty good if I stay consistent and start actually working on my game and working out. So probably 7th grade year of middle school, I feel like that's when it actually clicked for me.
Right. And I believe that, you kind of really, got, a big name. I believe there was you had like a day where I think you hit like 76, 78 or 80 points in one day, I think it was. Am I correct?
No. 53 in one day, 49 the next. No, 40.
That's right. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was that kind of like, going through high school and kind of having, kind of all the eyes on you?
Yeah, it was pretty good knowing that I was a role model for those in the community and knowing, like, you can make a name for yourself no matter where you're from in a small town like Clayton. If you just work hard and do all the things that is necessary and also having good character, then it could take you a lot of places.
Right. Then, of course, your last game, you had a very big viral moment where, Eastern Wayne, they came and they double teamed you the entire game. What was that kind of that moment like, and, kind of getting the attention right there?
Yeah, I knew when they first started double teaming me, I didn't know they were like holding hands. So one of my old teammates, Michaela, she actually recorded a video of them like holding hands, and then I saw that was the first time me actually seeing it. Like I didn't even know they were holding hands when they first started double teaming me. I was like really confused. I was like, what? I was like, what are y'all doing? Like we have other people that needs to be guarded. Don't put two on me. But I guess it lets me know that they really respect my game. So if anything, it lets me know that their coaching and their team respected my game.
Yeah, absolutely. That was actually the question I was going to ask before Kai asked. He really that was kind of my introduction to seeing how talented you were. I mean, if any team literally walks in the gym and says, we're putting two people on you for 32 minutes, you got to be pretty damn good at basketball. So.
Yeah. And they didn't start double teaming until like the 3rd or 4th quarter. So it wasn't the whole game, but
it's still enough to be like, they really just double teamed this girl for like a whole half.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Definitely.
Right. I know that was, kind of a tough game as well because, you had I believe you had some AAU teammates on there as well who kind of already knew coming into the game.
Yeah, we played when I was like in ninth grade. Yeah, we played AAU in ninth grade, the twins, and then another person. Oh yeah.
Gotcha. So of course, after you became Clayton's all-time leading scorer, you chose to go to Liberty University. What was this freshman season like for you?
Overall, it was a good experience. On the court and off the court as well. I developed some great relationships that I still cherish to this day, even though I'm not attending the school anymore. Um, but I definitely met some wonderful people there. And 1 year at Liberty has allowed me to grow my IQ a lot, which I feel like it will benefit me for the next how many years I'll be playing.
What was kind of the biggest adjustment, at Liberty as far as for your freshman year?
Definitely getting adjusted to the speed of the game and finding my confidence.
Right. And when you look at it, what did you probably learn most as far as on the court?
Um, Probably knowing when to attack the basket and when to shoot and when to kick it out. Just knowing when to like not to score but how to score. If that makes sense. So that definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think I feel like for most incoming freshmen, the adjustment to the college game takes maybe a semester or so in terms of trying to really get acclimated to how practices are run,
Yeah.
how things go in the college setting, and you guys play in a tough conference, that Liberty team. So they're full of really good talent. So I think it just kind of takes time for incoming freshmen on not just women but men's basketball too. It just takes time.
Definitely.
I feel like eventually that process, you kind of grew a lot going into January, and if I'm correct, you started all 25 games they played, correct?
Not all 25 games.
Oh.
I think I started 25 games out of
Yes. Got you.
Right. And, I believe, you kind of really got going around Christmas time. I believe you were like the all Christmas tournament team or either the MVP, so was that kind of the moment where it kind of clicked for you?
Well, Thanksgiving and wait. I forgot which tournament it was. It might have been our Christmas tournament. I forgot, but I know there was one tournament it wasn't. I think it was maybe Christmas, where I had got MVP for the tournament, so that was pretty good. So that's when I started to realize maybe it's starting to click for me, and I'm finding my role on the team. And then as the season started to progress, then I started to pick up, especially season.
Right. And when you look at it, of course, now you've made the decision to transfer. What was kind of, the mindset of going into that, deciding to transfer?
You're asking me why I'm transferring?
Well, I'd say what was the kind of, when did that become kind of a thought for you?
Probably not too long ago. Probably about 3 weeks ago. I just felt like it was best for me to end up putting my name into the transfer portal, just because of just the racial insensitivity in the leadership at Liberty.
Right. I mean, what was kind of like the decision-making process, because I know something like that, it takes a lot of, thought process before you make that decision.
Yeah, definitely. Talking with my parents and talking with people I trust and people I look up to. I try not to ask too many people, but definitely sticking with the people I love and trust and asking them for guidance and making sure that it wasn't an emotional type decision and this would actually be best for me. And then also praying about it was definitely big for me as well.
Absolutely.
Did you kind of, when you were beginning to make the video, did you kind of think that it would, make the type of ripple that effect that it did?
Not really, because I know a lot of people know I play for Liberty, so I just wanted to be people actually know why I'm transferring and not just another person that's transferring because of this or that. So I wanted people to know that it was actually pretty valid reason on why I'm transferring, not just because.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. It's an extremely valid reason too. I feel like, I mean, you've made national news just off of the decision you made, and it's a powerful choice that needed to be heard. And sometimes the things that need to be heard are things that people don't want to hear, but you really, you really put yourself out there and show the world that you can make a type of decision like this, and it can have an effect on people. And that's what I really commend about that video and the words that you said. I was really impressed with everything you said in that video, and it's really cool that someone at your age can do that and really have people listen to what you have to say. So that's why I really got to commend you for.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Right. I mean, when you decided to make the video, were you kind of scripted, or did you kind of just go off of, kind of exactly what you were just feeling at that moment?
Both. My parents helped me to like get my words down because they wanted to make sure I was saying the right stuff and how I was saying it that way. But in the video, I wouldn't say it was scripted. It was kind of what I was feeling.
Right. And do you think that, how important was kind of like your foundation of your parents and everything being there and being able to make that decision? How important were they in this process?
Very important. If it wasn't for them and during this process, I don't think it would have had this much attention, I would say, because they definitely helped me making sure I thought out everything and making sure I was saying the right things and tearing people down through this process and making sure I was actually lifting people up as well.
When you think about this, did you think that this would become, kind of national news about, when you make this decision?
Not really. I felt like my story had some positive things to it, so I figured maybe some people would listen to it, but as far as like national news, I wouldn't say I was gonna like post this video and then boom, it's gonna be all over the place. But I was really just posting it so people that really know me, because I know like a lot of people actually follow me and stuff like that and follow like my career. So I just wanted to let people know and let them know why.
Right. Um, it seem kind of crazy to you, kind of the whirlwind that's kind of happened. I mean, people talked a lot about, Mikey Williams coming out supporting HBCUs, and now this has kind of become a big conversation of, athletes having to understand, where, picking and choosing where they're going is, socially just as much as basketball wise. How do you kind of feel about the whirlwind being in that?
As far as athletes going to HBCUs.
Well, the HBCU conversation, as well as just trying to, be very socially aware in where you pick to play college at.
Yeah, I can say a lot of HBCU alumni have definitely been like trolling my social media accounts, telling me I should go this or that, or go to an HBCU. My parents they both actually graduated from HBCU. My sister went to HBCU, but I'm not gonna say I'm against going to an HBCU because I definitely place high value within HBCUs and I feel like they're wonderful. But I'm just trying to see where I fit in best.
Right.
Absolutely. That's what counts, really. I really feel with this debate is that really you just go where you feel like you fit best, where coaches really want you in a certain role and they know that you could produce in a certain way. And really, like, that's why I say whatever school it is, whether it's HBCU or it isn't, like, it's just about fit, like you said, Asia.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And, of course, you've also been out to protest and, you've been a part of, I believe, the walk that was at Clayton. How important is this kind of moment of using your voice and using your platform to you?
It's definitely important. I feel like us as student athletes in general, I feel like God has blessed the platform for people to look up to us as just more than just athletes, and definitely being socially aware of things that are actually going on in today's society, and letting people know that, hey, we may be good on the court, on the field, but we can do other things, and such as speak up for those in our community and just having a voice for the voiceless. So that's definitely important.
Right. And really, another Clayton athlete as well has been very vocal about this. Justin Bell. What has it been like? Kind of just seeing some of your former classmates coming together to do this together.
Yeah, it's definitely big, especially in the Clayton community. I feel like we definitely need people and leaders such as Justin, Ari, and Honorary who are also helping them. It's like a click, and I'm definitely proud of them for stepping up and taking on that role of leadership and definitely getting everyone together in the community to talk about the social injustices that are going on in the country today.
And it's great that our young people are doing that. Like Justin is 16, 17 years old, and he's out here leading protests through his own city. And like you said, the others you mentioned too. It's not just Justin. It's really all of the kids that went out there and protested. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, and then also too, Coach Lee. I've read his interview that he gave for the News Observer. He talked about how vocal you were. How did how has he kind of been in this process and encouraging as well?
Yeah, he definitely told him about everything that's going on. He's definitely been there to support me every step of the way. He's definitely said that if you ever need anything, be sure to let him know. And coaches are still calling him, making just trying to see how I was, I guess, in his program and playing for him. So I definitely feel like it's definitely been a big factor with everything.
Right, and when it comes to the recruiting trail, I mean, how many schools do you think you've heard from?
Probably like over 50 now.
Hey, she said this was she said it so nonchalant. She's like 50, But are there any schools specifically that are in strong consideration for you, or if you don't want to say, you don't have to?
Yeah, but yes, definitely have some schools that are in consideration.
Are you looking to stay in state, or are you trying to go back out state again?
I prefer not to actually say that right now.
We respect that. We definitely respect that. Kai asked a good question, but I definitely respect recruits keeping it on the hush. It's all good, all good. I want to go back to your playing days. What were some of your favorite moments playing for Clayton High School?
Definitely the crowd and the support from the students. They didn't just support the guys' basketball team, but they also supported the girls' team as well. And definitely say the crowd and support system that the Clayton community shares within the sports field.
Right. Now of course, Clayton's a girl. They just had another great season. I know Dariana has been, very vocal about how she kind of looks up to you. So what has it kind of been like, trying to help her and guide her in her freshman year? So I believe she asked you for some advice.
Yeah, so I know that her dad and her sister into a couple of my games at Liberty. So that's definitely been great knowing that I have stuck, because I definitely feel like I paved the way to help her or other girls within the Clayton community to actually use their platform, exemplify their game in the right way, as long as they have great character, of course. But it definitely makes me feel good that I'm a role model to such a great player. I definitely feel like she has great potential coming up.
You think she can? Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
I'm about to say, by the time she finishes and after what you did, they got to put that 5 in the rafters.
Nobody put the 5 in the right. And I said she got to represent that number well. That's not just any type of jersey.
It's a different jersey.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
Everybody can wear that jersey.
Yeah.
You think Dariana could come for that scoring record, or you hope not?
No. I always tell people, be like, if y'all want to be just like you, I always tell them to be better than me, because if someone's better than me, that means the world's a better place. So I definitely feel like she has the potential to. She definitely has potential to. Yeah, she just needs to work on maybe her shot. But once she gets that down pat, she'll definitely be a beast.
Hey, she works hard too, just
Definitely.
like you.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, definitely. I hope she does break it because that means Clayton's a better team. So that's all that matters.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good.
how important is the success of Clayton to you? How proud of you are of Clayton?
I'm very proud. It's definitely from a small city that it is. I'm definitely proud of Clayton and where it's going to take off to.
All right. Um, then of course, when you look at it, what kind of basketball fit are you looking for at your next stop?
You talking about like playing wise, playing
Yeah.
stuff? Definitely like um, I'll say coaching staff that pushes their players on and off the court. Playing wise, definitely looking for a program that fits more into my style of play. Like, definitely having a balance, but playing fast and just knowing when to slow down.
All right. Then of course, school wise, how was kind of the transition of dealing with the college work while also having to fit in the practices and having to fit in the games?
Um, it was all about time management. For me, making sure that I put have my priorities in order. I wouldn't say it was that hard because, like I said, time management is key. So if you're managing, it's really not that bad. At Liberty, we had study hall hours, so that's where I got most of my work done. And just I'm the type of person or student to try to work ahead. So if you work ahead and get all your work done, then it's really not that bad.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
and
I was gonna. Oh, go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
and what did you major in?
I'm undecided. I was undecided.
Undecided still? Okay.
I was gonna say being a student is the most important part of being a student athlete. I
Def-
think it's I think it's good that you work ahead, and I think it's a good message for those that are not just in college, but those that are trying to play college sport. That obviously your academics are probably going to be the first thing that they talk about. Like we, Kai and I talked to college coaches on numerous occasions, and one of the first things they mention is what is that GPA,
right,
and if it's not good, then your chance of playing college basketball are not that good.
right,
So you just got to keep working at it.
definitely.
Right. And when it comes to the basketball side, you step right into a program, played started 25 games. What kind of advice would you give incoming freshmen about how to be able to transfer from high school into college?
Yeah, definitely making sure they buy into the system, making sure they're the first one to practice, last one to leave. Just making sure you're first in everything because your coaches they'll definitely notice that. So making sure you're definitely first, just being the hardest worker on the floor. Maybe that's in practice, hardest worker in the classroom because hard work would definitely pay off. So if you just definitely buy into the system, and confidence is also really big as well. For me, what I struggled with coming in was definitely confidence and making sure, like, not that I belong, but just making sure that I was meant to be out there on the court and stuff like that. So definitely confidence. So when you get that confidence down, that's really a big factor in coming in and transitioning.
Right. And then also too, what was I? I completely forgot. Um,
You need to say something, Kai.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I forget. I'll come back to it.
Well, this is our show. Um, but to really add, I think an important question to ask would be like what kind of things were you kind of looking for in a school at the start of your recruiting process, and what kind of things you think you can tell incoming freshmen about like school and working hard in the classroom so that you don't have to be ineligible or something like that.
Yeah, so are you asking me what I'm looking like? What did I look
But
for?
like
Oh,
what should incoming freshman student athletes know about the academic process as well, like not just like being an athlete.
Yeah. So like in high school, definitely academics is important, especially if you want to go to a college, a specific college. Knowing the requirements for GPA and ACT and SAT is definitely big. Trying to study as much as you can for those tests. Um, Going hard in the classroom just as you go hard in the practice, in conditioning, in the weight room. Put that same energy into studying for your test because at the end of the day, it can either make you or break you. So definitely just going hard and making sure you go hard both on the court and in the classroom as well.
Right. The thing that I was going to ask you was, how did it kind of feel to have, your season cut short by coronavirus? Um, and how much did you think it kind of hurt you to kind of have the season end that way?
Yeah, I really felt like the team was definitely playing our best basketball as a collective group. So I felt like we were definitely sad because we were going to be able to go to the NCAA tournament after winning um, the ASUN championship game. So that definitely did hurt because we definitely wanted to get some revenge on our opponents. So that was definitely kind of sad that we didn't get to play. But yeah, we definitely had hopes in going to the tournament.
Absolutely, that team was really good this past season, and yeah, I almost said the Big South because I forgot Liberty changed conferences. That was, but but to ask about the recruitment process again, when do you think we can expect a decision from you on where you will attend school next?
No more than a week or two.
Okay, okay, that's about right. You won't have a set list of schools to cut down, so you're just gonna commit.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that yet. I probably just
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all good. It's all good.
Um, when it comes to actually the Liberty as the basketball program, talk to me about how important kind of your coaching staff was to making that first year a little bit easier.
Yeah, they were great. They definitely loved. You can definitely tell they loved and supported all of my teammates and stuff like that. They definitely pushed us not just on the court but also off the court. They took the time to just make sure we learned the game. That was definitely big my freshman year. I remember just going into film a lot in depth. They were there to teach us and educate us on the game.
What was kind of like the process of letting them know that you were transferring, and how did they kind of feel about your decision?
Yeah, so I just called the head coach and let him know why and stuff like that, and they understood why. They tried their best to like get me to stay and stuff like that, and I definitely respect that. But at the end of the day, this decision wasn't based on basketball. It was based on things other than that.
Right. Your teammates, what was kind of like the team camaraderie like for you guys?
As far as we got along, like
Right.
getting
Yeah.
yeah, we got along pretty well. We hung out a lot outside of just the court and stuff like that, and we tried to do a lot of things outside of the court as a team. So yeah, it was great. We definitely got along very well.
Were there any funny moments y'all had as a team being together?
Oh yeah, too many that I can remember off the court. Yeah, definitely, definitely did have a lot of funny moments.
Now, I know for some freshmen, they often talk about the senior leadership, how they kind of flock to them, or how they kind of flock to some of their younger teammates who are coming in just like them. What was it kind of like for you? Did you kind of mix and match, or was it kind of like you hung with one group more than the other? What was it kind of like?
Yeah, so the seniors on the team definitely tried their best to like try to get everyone involved, not just flakes and stuff like that. So we did a lot of stuff as a team. So it was pretty well. One of the seniors, she's off to Tennessee, and I'm definitely proud of her. She's like I want she's like a big sister to me, and she has so much wisdom. So she definitely like everything she says definitely has some value, and yeah, so she's definitely mature. Like she's like a big sister. So yeah.
Right. What is it kind of like being around that much talent? I mean, for a long time, you were one of the most talented players whenever you stepped on the court. What was it kind of like being with girls who were of similar talent to you?
Yeah, it was great knowing that I was playing with people that wants it just as bad as I do. So yeah, it was great knowing, just like I said, knowing that playing with other girls that's very talented. It definitely wanted me to work harder and do my best on the court, make sure I was contributing to the team as well.
Well, at least in terms of like what are your thoughts on the transfer portal itself, like, and how it's been implemented into the NCAA college basketball?
What do you mean by that?
Like is it just like simply what is it a weird process, just or is it just as simple as putting your name in there?
Yeah, it wasn't weird. It was actually quite simple, I would say. You just call compliance to let you know that so that they can put your name in the portal and just making sure you just fill out some questions and giving your contact information and stuff like that. And you list the reasons why that you're transferring. And I know that the head coach has to do something as well, fill out some paperwork, but it's not that much of a process.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. I really just wanted to know about that, to be honest, because like
Yeah.
I just feel like it's just weird to like just call it the transfer portal and like you just like imagine it and just it feels like there's so many names in there, and is it kind of hard to find a place to play with the amount of names that go in the transfer portal, the amount of players that switch schools?
I can't really attest to that because for me it hasn't been hard. I'm not
Well,
trying
yeah,
to like
fair
accurate,
point.
but like for me, I don't know because I can't tell. But
It's all right. It's all good.
yeah, I don't even know. I think only coaches can see whose names are actually in the portal. I don't know if the public had access to that. But yeah, I can't really
It's it's all it's all
And
good.
that's a nice little subtle flex right there.
tell.
Hey, look, she said, bah!
No.
She went from the 50 schools saying nonchalant, and then she says that, and she's just like. But Kai, do you have one?
Yeah. So now with everything kind of going on, how important do you kind of, having seen the reaction, how important do you feel college athletes are now to the fight for equality and justice right now, with them having such a great platform, and then also, being smart enough to understand how to use it?
Good
Yeah,
question.
definitely important, and it's definitely beautiful to see because, like I said earlier, it's just showing the world that we're more than just athletes on the court or on whatever sport they play. That we can have a voice in this community, in our communities, and in our world, and just using our social media platform as a powerful outlet. Because a lot of people use social media as negativity, but it can also be used for positivity and just enlighten other people that need to hear certain things and just inspiring other people their platform. Maybe they're not athletes, but they look up to us as student athletes in the community and stuff like that. So that's definitely important. Definitely feel like that's big.
People need to stop looking at student athletes and professional athletes like they're just robots. Like
Right.
people need to look at them as human beings, just as these two guys who just talk on a video every day and do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's really good to see athletes, student athletes and professional athletes step up. Like when you see guys like Russell Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan going into California and protesting, and guys like Jaleel Michael and Jaden Michael at the Burlington School. I know Kai and I talked about this on one of our previous episodes, and really just seeing really just seeing kids step up and show their leadership skills. It really, honestly, could teach us adults some lessons. I mean,
Yeah.
I really feel like student athletes and professional athletes are really using their voices to be heard the right way, and and it's something I love seeing.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I have another interview at 1:45.
Okay. We're about to
Hey,
right here.
dude, Asia, I mean, you're making national news. we just really appreciate that you took the time out for us. And,
Yeah. Thanks for
it's
that.
at Hoopers Galore on social media, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Asia Todd, Clayton High School is great. We'll see where she goes next. This has been episode 63 of the Just Like Boats podcast. See you later.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.